Hallo zu Henerasyon 2.0, dem Deutsch-Pinoi-Podcast mit uns Susi, Cheryl und Lee. Heute haben wir das Thema Consular Outreach Mission. Das Philippinische Generalkonsulat in Frankfurt hat wieder seine mobile konsularischen Dienste aufgenommen. Denn die philippinische Botschaft ist für viele eine ganz schön lange Anreise. Wir waren dabei und haben Generalkonsulin Evelyn Austria-Garcia interviewen und sie so einiges über diese wichtige Mission fragen dürfen. Auch natürlich ein paar private Fragen, denn sie hat schon die ganze Welt gesehen. Kuala Lumpur, Den Haag, Paris, Portugal, Botschafterin in Tschechien und auch in Osttimor. Ihre letzte Station ist Frankfurt und ihre letzte Mission die Wiedereröffnung des Konsulats. Also viel Spaß!
Consul General in Frankfurt was closed in 2012, and then 6 years after, the Senator Lauren Legarda thought of reopening it because Frankfurt is a financial hub, it's a transportation hub, it's a cultural center. Can you imagine? You have so many museums in Frankfurt. I'm about to leave and I've not even finished visiting, all of them. There are about 16. So in 2018, with a group, I think about 7 or 8 from the Foreign Affairs Department, my colleagues, they came in August, looked for a place for the consulate to be established, and then I came in September. By December or by January, the second batch of our team, again another 6, came from Manila, from the Department of Foreign Affairs, and we started operations in January 2019. So what do we offer? Visas, passports, legalization, authentication of documents that would be used in the Philippines, reports of birth, reports of marriage, reports of death. We also promote Philippine culture. We promote Philippine trade and investment. So it's the whole gamut of promoting the Philippines in Frankfurt and southern Germany, southern and western Germany. So we cover 7 states.
Is the Philippine Consulate General the first point of contact for Filipinos and Filipinas who have recently arrived in Germany?
Yes, should be, okay? It should be because if you register with the consulate or the embassy in Berlin, we would know where you are. If something happens to you, we would be able to contact you. If your relatives are looking for you, then we would know where to contact you, how to contact you, where you are, and what you're doing. So it should be that Filipinos who will be working here, who will reside in Germany, in our areas of jurisdiction, it is important that you come to the consulate. Or if you're in Berlin, register with the embassy in Berlin so that we would know where you are. We hope that nothing happens to you and if you're not registered, we won't be able to find you. So it is really important that you come to the consulate or the embassy so that you can register. When we say register, give us your name, where you are, how to contact you, mobile phone, email address. Of course, the email address is forever, unless you change your email address, you can be reached by the consulate or the embassy.
Which requests do you receive mostly from
Passports.
new passports, passport
Yeah,
renewals?
during the pandemic, because they had, because of the lockdowns, there were restrictions in transportation, in movement, and all that. So we could extend the passport for a year. All right. At that time, we can also, at that time when you extend, it gives you time to, set an appointment to have a new one. All right. But those are just, interim measures because of the pandemic. so that they don't have to travel. Okay. So we recommend that if you live far and you need a passport for permit or residency or something, you can send it to the consulate by mail. We extend it for a year until you find a way to get to the consulate and apply for new.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really an interim measure. It's because the lockdown. Remember, right after the beginning of the pandemic, there was the lockdown for 2 months. Nobody could come. Right. So that was the remedy that was done. Right. Yeah, because we're trying to.
accommodating.
Yes, we are trying to reach out to the.
Flexible
Yeah.
also.
So make them feel that the consulate is there to help them.
That's nicely said, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what are your wishes
Oh.
towards or to the Filipino community?
Always. I always tell them, one, the consulate is your home away from the Philippines. Do not be afraid to visit us. If you need help, call us so we can help you. Second, I always say that the Filipinos are the best promoters of the Philippines. They're the best diplomats. Why? Because they know the country, they've stayed there, right? They know the culture, they know the best of the Philippines. So if they read something not very nice about the Philippines, you can always say that is not the whole of the Philippines. There is so much that you can say, in terms of beauty of the Philippines, the best of the Philippines, travel, leisure, culture, food. You can say, the diplomats, of course, they can usually just make a rundown of this, but you have lived it. The Filipinos who probably lived in Cebu, in Davao, in the north, you can talk about your food. You can talk about places that are beautiful in where you were born. So I always say, you are the best promoters. You should, because the Philippines is beautiful. Right?
Is so much fun and it's so true.
Right. And that's why, we have received many requests from tourists, asking us if the visas for tourists are already open. It's not yet. Sadly, not yet, because there is still the surge in the coronavirus and its variants. So better to be careful, slowly open when it is ready.
Right.
But at this time, just, those who need to travel, necessary to travel, then they send a request to the consulate to be exempted from the restriction. But, we try our best.
Last work related question, and then we come to the fun part.
All right.
What are the annual activities usually of the PCG?
Always. There's the Independence Day, okay? And then we always have that Christmas celebration with the community. In between, we have the, what do you call that? Like commemoration or a promotion of violence against women. We promote, like, for example, how we address disability. There's a month for autism. So all this, every now and then, I encourage you, every now and then, please go to the Facebook page of the consulate, because every month we celebrate something. There's a month for Wikang Filipino, where we promote the language of the Philippines. Yeah, and then there is the Fiesta Filipina. I think for the last how many months now, we feature Fiesta in the different provinces.
And it was beautiful. We
Right.
also joined that.
Right.
It was
See?
very, very nice. We
So-
loved it. We had really so much fun. We received the boxes. We really had so much fun. We did unpacking in Henerasyon 2.0 and it was so fun. It was so much learnings.
Right. So we have not really stopped work. We've not stopped promoting the Philippines, even or in spite of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So last year, with the onset of the pandemic, sometime February last year, remember, there was a lockdown. So the consulate was closed for 2 months. But soon after, in May, we were open. So we worked with 2 teams, but we were open. So we never stopped.
It was all year through,
And
really.
I have to give credit to our personnel, to the team, the consulate team, because they were brave. I mean, at the height of the virus, the Consul Villanueva, was there at the airport, seeing our Filipinos off, making sure that they're well taken care of if they're uh, in transit, and sometimes their flight gets delayed or canceled. Oh, that's our job, just to see to the welfare of the Filipinos. Yeah, yeah. I hope that the Filipinos feel that there is the consulate and the embassy taking care of them, somewhere to run to if they have problems.
You mentioned that you are going into retirement.
Yes.
Too early, I believe. But how
3 years
long?
early
3 years early. How long have you been
in the
in first
service.
service?
Ah.
And how did it start, Mom?
Oh my goodness.
That was a question of an Instagram
Oh, you
user. Yes. How did
Yeah,
you start?
to become a foreign service officer.
Or in your position, how did you get
All
there?
right. Of course, you have to take the exam. To be a foreign service officer, to join the Department of Foreign Affairs, you have to take the exam. And it's a battery of tests. And they say it's tough, it's difficult. But once you pass it, your career is really, really set. Because you go from one position to another, go up the ladder of, there's a hierarchy. So you start, if you pass the test, then you become Foreign Service Officer 1, third secretary. You're probably an assistant director in the department. If you go abroad, then you are third secretary, and vice consul. So it's really a set career, but it's a fulfilling career. I know a number of people who, who are well off, and they're trying to find a way to help Filipinos, right? And I say, we in the public service are very privileged and honored to be there in government to serve the people, because we don't look for them. They come to us and we're able to help. So it's really a privilege. And you have to have the heart, I think, to serve. Huh?
Now here comes the part. What is your favorite German word or phrase that you have
Oh,
learned?
Guten Morgen. Guten Tag. Oh, they're very good. Feeling good in Germany. Many good things in Germany.
Have you learned in those 3.5 years, like German conversation?
Yes. We are still having German lessons. So I can say, ich bin Ausländer. Ja? Und spreche nicht gut Deutsch.
And aside the words, what is your favorite German dish?
The schnitzel. My husband loves the schnitzel. But the wurst is very good.
The Wurst.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah?
The cooked one, really?
Yeah,
Like
yes.
the Bavarian
Right.
or Frankfurter?
Yes, the Frankfurter.
Because you're from that area, so you should really like it.
Right.
And what is your favorite German place?
Well, because of the pandemic, of course, I've been to all the states, the 7 states. They're beautiful. I've been to Heidelberg, I've been to Würzburg, and it's very pretty. You know, I like my place because I live, well, on the 8th floor, the top floor, and I could view right across me the European Central Bank, by the river, and all that. So maybe that's my favorite place, and I'm leaving it because I'm returning to the Philippines. But yes, it's in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Right.
When you return to the Philippines, may I ask from which place you are po?
Makati ako eh. Metro
Makati?
Manila.
Uptown girl.
Oo. Anong tawag dito? City girl.
City girl,
I know
yes.
that my mom is from Quezon, and my my father's from Pangasinan. I recall going there for vacation. But, my sisters and my brothers, we study in the city. So we normally spend time in the city, do whatever the city goers do,
Yeah.
watch a movie, go around with friends. But I miss having a province. Really, where you can say, in the summertime we go to our province and we have
Like rest house.
right. But I know my cousins still go to their parents' place, right? But both my parents are city, so we lived in the city. Now I'm trying to find a place in the province that will be our vacation house for my husband and I after retirement. But I have friends. So, but even then, we just go for like Boracay, or go to Palawan, or go to Cebu. I've been to Iloilo, Davao. I've not been to Davao.
You have to go there.
That's the first thing.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it is. It is
Yeah.
wonderful. I live
Right.
there. I stayed there. I worked there. I'm so proud to be from the South, even though I grew up here.
Right.
But I'm a Davao girl,
Right.
really.
I've been to Silay, Negros. I would have wanted to go to down south, Davao, right? Cagayan de Oro.
CDO, Zamboanga,
Right.
Camiguin, down there.
Right.
Or Siargao, Surigao.
The most southern part is Palawan that I've been to. Yeah.
It's time for Mindanao.
I should.
It's time for Mindanao.
I think so. It's I think it's a blessed place because, the resources are still there, intact, and we look forward to having, we have a president from the south, right?
Yes. Now talking about food, but the other way around. What is your all-time favorite Pinoy food? Maybe from your region.
There are many.
Yes. That a foreigner, like a German, needs to try once in his lifetime. Like
okay.
that foreigner, German, has never tried any
Right.
Filipino food.
Right.
What would that be?
People talk about adobo, right? But I think what is Filipino, it would be halo-halo. I think it would be halo-halo. Why? Halo-halo means a mix, right? So you have sweet, you have milk, you have cold, right? And you have that slimy thing, the jello, the jello. Right. And I think it's sweet. It's something that is different, right? Because you have the counterpart of the pig knuckles. You have
Schweinehaxe.
the crispy pata.
Correct.
Right. So it's something that it is like German pig knuckles. Or you have also sausages, but we also have the sausage. We have the longanisa. Right. So
There's always an equivalent.
correct. But the halo-halo, I don't think they have here.
No, we don't. We don't. Seriously.
Oh,
See, this is our ice cream. This is all the most halo-halo we can make.
Or if you go more eccentric or more the dinuguan.
Love it.
Are you also not like it? I don't know if there's a counterpart here.
We have,
See?
but as a sausage. Like
Right.
blood sausage.
Right.
Yes.
But it's, you see, something really different. Maybe the halo-halo. Right. Or
It's unique somehow because it's so much mixed in, right?
right. So I thought of something that's mixed, something that's sweet, that will remind you of the Filipino,
Yeah.
right? And something that would put a smile on your face. And remember the Philippines with a smile, right?
So sweet.
Wir danken Generalkonsulin Evelyn Austria-Garcia für das sehr nette Interview. Das Generalkonsulat hat noch mehrere Missionen für 2021 geplant. Vielleicht ist ja ein Termin gleich bei euch in der Nähe. Nutzt diese Termine und meldet euch für diese an. Hier die Website, damit ihr alle Infos finden könnt. Also habt es ganz fein. Ayo, ayo!